Thank you very much for giving us a couple of minutes of your rehearsal time. We definitely appreciate it. But we really want to know about your new album. Can you first explain to us why it's called Return of Saturn?
Return of Saturn. Well, I think, we didn't have a title for this album until the very last minute. And it was hard because on the last record, we always knew it was going to be Tragic Kingdom. It was kind of an easy decision. And it was just a line in one of the songs. And someone told me that because this whole thing about Saturn returns, it's an astrology term, and they say that, from the time that you're born, well, it takes Saturn 29 years to circle the sun. So from the time you're born to the time it returns, there's this whole time period of reassessment, second guessing, and you go through a lot of big life changes, and you kind of grow up a bit. And so I think that was like the last couple years of my life. So on a personal level, it kind of made sense, and there was all these reoccurring themes in the lyrics. So I thought it made sense that way. And then on a band music level, it worked because I think that the bands, we've all kind of evolved a lot from Tragic Kingdom to this record, and it was a big transition musically. So it just seemed to work on that level.
So how did that transition go? How did you get from Tragic Kingdom to this new album?
We came off the road in November of 1997. We were on the road for 27 months. It was a long time to be touring, yeah. And we took a couple months off, settled down, found places to stay, and started working on the record. We didn't think it was going to take 2 years to make, but it did. And when we started working on it, we made this commitment to ourselves not to be done with it till we were absolutely 100% proud of it, till we all felt like we had stepped up as songwriters and improved, and that was the goal we set for ourselves. Ended up taking 2 years to get to.
How does your creative process work? I guess every band has its own way of writing songs. How do you do that?
Generally, myself and Gwen, or Tony and Gwen, will sit down just in a room with an acoustic guitar or a bass, and that's where the songs kind of are created. And sometimes I think Gwen, she has a notebook with some words. Sometimes she does the words after that, and then we sit down as a band and take that little nugget and kind of craft it into a song. And sometimes it takes us a while, and we work on songs like on and off event, for days and days. So it's a long process for us, and for every 10 days we sit down, maybe we'll only get one good song out of it, and 10 crappy songs.
And then what do you do? Because I read the credits, and it's all their names for every song, and then...
I'm like the buddy that hangs out. They like my company, so I like to make jokes and fart a lot and make them laugh.
No, but seriously, because you must have been in the process, but I didn't see your name.
Well, what happens generally is, like Tom said, that the songs or the ideas are written, and when we all four get together, that's what takes the most time, is to make it a playable song and something that sounds good when all four people are performing at the same time, and that usually takes a long time. And so, sometimes I'm like the bad uncle, like it's their ideas, but I kind of edit them, and I have comments and I judge them, but they let me have opinions. So, of course I'd put the drum beats on. That's obvious, but we have a lot of discussions about the music, even though they write all the music.
Yeah. Okay. So when did Glen Ballard come in? Did you ask him? Did he? How do I say that? Did he call you or?
He was suggested to us by people, and we kind of had a rough start with our producers. We were searching for something, and we didn't know really what it was. And I know we all wanted to get outside of our comfort zone and get pushed a little bit. And by the time we hooked up with Glenn, we'd already been writing for about a year, and we were starting to get nervous. We got to get this thing done. We got to find someone to help us, to push us, and help us kind of edit these songs. And we took a bunch of meetings with a bunch of guys one day. It was one after another. It was in a room, and Glenn was the one that stuck out as being really musical and just really understanding us and really getting our vibe. And really, we had this kind of, it was like a chemistry right from the very start. So we were just sure after we left the meeting that he was the guy, and we never make decisions quick like that. So once he came in the room, he just kind of brought all our confidence back and helped us kind of put all the songs on diets, because we always tend to overfeed them a bit with too much information. And it was, from then on, it was like, okay, now we're going to finish this album, and then we kind of took a year after that. But, I think the making of the album is the hard part for us. I mean, playing live is something that we've always done that came really naturally, and we kind of really get off on that part of it. And the making the record's kind of like being pregnant, and it's really hard. And the last probably trimester is really difficult and frustrating and uncomfortable. But now we feel all ready to go, show off the baby.
Yeah, you got a good
Don't you eat a lot when you're pregnant?
Yeah, we were all eating a lot too during the last 2 years.
You lose them again.
Yeah, and then you have morning sickness sometimes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, after the nursing of the child.
And your nipples, your breasts get bigger, don't they, Tom?
Mine did, yes. As a matter of fact, that's kind of, I'm not going to show you, but.
So we had all the symptoms of being pregnant almost.
To me, a recurring theme on this album, lyrically, is being torn between freedom and settling down. Is that what all of you are feeling?
That's pretty.
That was
right on,
good.
huh?
You're very perceptive. It's weird because you write. It's weird to write words because, like, it's very kind of not selfish, but you're doing it all for yourself. You're not like thinking about anyone else when you're doing it. So when the record's done and now people are starting to hear it, I always think people are going to just kind of gloss over and not really pick up on things. Do you know? I think it's going to be a little more not so apparent, and so whenever people do pick up on it, I'm like, whoa.
You actually listen. Well,
Yeah.
actually, most of the lyrics I thought were female things. I thought I connected. I wondered if you all feel that too, or if it's really a female thing. You know, women always falling for the bad guys and why we do that. And do you share that?
I think on a certain level we can appreciate the sentiments that are being expressed only because we are all struggling with, when do you actually settle down? We've been on the road for so long, and we're planning on being on the road for a while. Adrian actually took the step and just got married last month. And
Congratulations.
he was the first one in the band to, step over to the dark side. So I think all of us is,
You still look fine.
That's good, huh? He did that hair for his wedding. So I think we're all struggling with that. You try to balance all that stuff in your life, and like Gwen says, a lot of that stuff suffers sometimes. Like personal life and relationships, and settling down.
But so it's really not only your thing. It's your story
It's
too.
like a human thing, isn't
It
it?
is a human thing. It's not really girl or guy. It's kind of human. I think that this whole record is a lot of that conflict of like, you get to a certain point in your life where you go, oh my God, this is my life. It's nothing that I thought it was going to be. But at the same time, it's like, whew, thank God, it's so much more than I thought.
Right.
But all the kind of maybe the simpler things that you thought you would be suddenly are the really confusing and complicated parts. And this record has a lot of that confusion on it.
So for single ex-girlfriend, I saw it was a Hype Williams video.
That's right.
Why did you get him?
I think we wanted to, we've had great experiences in the past with other video directors. We wanted to just try something new, and he's a guy who comes from the hip-hop world, and it would be, I thought, a really exciting kind of combination of ideas and cultures, and I think it came out really good. We wanted to make something, I think, really kind of in your face and bright and upbeat. And
Well, the pink is definitely very bright.
Absolutely, and he did a great job. He's very conscientious. We worked, all night long till the sun came up every day. It was definitely fun to do.
I can imagine that the pink look draws a lot of attention. How is that attention going now? Because in the past, from what I read, you all sometimes got the feeling that Gwen was the band. Do you think maybe, do you think that has passed? That's over now? Or are you still conscious of that? Are you aware of that? Are you afraid of that?
I think it's something that you actually learn to accept. We're still conscious of it, but in the past, we were on the road, and when you're on the road, weird things happen to your head. We were on the road for such a long period of time that it's hard to get like a proper perspective on what's important and what's not important. And I know for me personally, I would devote my time and energy into things that weren't important and worry about stuff that wasn't important. And since we've been home and we've had the time to really take a step back and look at what happened and how lucky we are and how successful we've been, I know personally I can deal with it a lot easier than it was in the past.
Good, good. All right, so now I'm going to go let you rehearse, but please tell us what exactly you're rehearsing for here today.
What are we rehearsing
I don't
for?
know.
Wait, is there a tour starting around here somewhere soon? Are you coming to Holland maybe? What are the plans?
We certainly hope so. We've got a couple of things we have to do while we're here this time, and then we're going to come back and do a proper tour and play everywhere. So this is just the beginning. This is the exciting part for us. Getting to play live.
Okay. One final question. Sorry, it is for Gwen. Where did you meet Prince? How did you end up on Prince's new album?
You know, he actually came to our show when we were playing in Minneapolis, and that was the first time that we met him. And he invited us back to Paisley Park, and we jammed with him, which was really scary, but ended up being really fun. And then he called not too long ago to ask if I wanted to sing on his latest album, and which was just like, can you imagine? It was like, what? Who? You know? And the deal is that there was no contract, no money, no anything like that. It was like, okay, you do this for me, and I'll do whatever you want. You know, I'll produce a song, I'll write a song with you, I'll help you work on one of your songs, whatever. So. We had a song called "Waiting Room" that we had written, but just something about it was not right, and so I sent him the tape, and we got there, and he had already like rewritten the whole song, and we ended up recording a version. He ended up recording a version of it, and we actually played on it also, and so someday that will come out. We haven't finished it yet, but it was a really pretty special experience, and you don't walk away going, wow, that guy's totally normal. You walk away going, wow, that's the artist formerly known as Prince. He wrote all those songs.
Yeah, and so one day we'll hear one with all of you and him.
Exactly, yeah, we got to finish that up. It's a really good track. I really wanted it to be on the album, but it was one of those things where it never got finished. So many songs, and we already...
That's a true artist, and he keeps on working on his stuff. All right, so go make music. Is it all right if we stick around for a few minutes longer and listen to you rehearse? That would be really cool.
We rehearse a lot better than we speak. So.
Well, you spoke fine. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks.
Dit was no doubt, spreekkunst dus, maar volgens hen zelf kunnen ze beter muziek maken, dus we laten ze dat gaan doen. Thank you.
Thanks.
Kinda always knew I'd end up your ex-girlfriend. I hope I hold a special place with the rest of them. And you know it makes me sick to be on that list, but I should have thought of that before we kissed. You say you're gonna burn before you mellow. I will be the one to burn you. Oh, why'd you have to go and pick me? Oh, when you knew that we were different, completely. You kinda always do what ends up your ex-girlfriend. Whoa, I kinda always do what ends up your ex-girlfriend. Whoa, I hope we hold a special place with the rest of them. Whoa, I kinda always do what ends up your ex-girlfriend. And I'm another ex-girlfriend on your list, but I should have thought of that before we kissed.
Oké, dankjewel. Bye-bye. Heel erg wijs, heel erg wijs.
This is the Music Factory.